Hello everyone, this is Ishwar. Today I'm going to present our work on VITARIT, which is a protocol to pay for threshold services on Bitcoin and other blockchain systems. This is a joint work with Sri Arvind Krishna Tyagarajan, Lucian Hanslick, Aniket Kate, and Pratyay Mukherjee. As we all know, there has been a tremendous increase in service offerings on Web3 systems these days. These services are typically decentralized to avoid single points of failure. Famous examples include verifiable random functions and oracles. These services typically are realized using smart contracts. However, these smart contracts have several limitations. The inputs and outputs of the users are typically exposed on smart contracts, leading to privacy losses. Also, these smart contracts may involve verifying certain computations online, leading to efficiency losses. They are also not compatible with all the systems, for example, Bitcoin. Hence, the goal of this work is to build a threshold service or a protocol which realizes a threshold service, which is Bitcoin compatible and allows atomic payments. Secondary goals include developing a privacy preserving protocol and also a protocol which improves the existing smart contract based approaches. Looking at the system model, we have N servers offering the threshold service, and the adversary can corrupt up to T servers. All the servers are connected through secure links. Then we have a client who needs at least T plus one partial evaluations from these N servers, and he wants to pay only if the final output is guaranteed. Let us quickly look at what are the traditional approaches and how we may go about it and what are the problems with each of them. First, we may try to pay all the servers at once. Here, the servers interact with each other and give out the final output. However, paying all the servers leads to a free riding servers problem where a certain subset of servers may not compute anything but keep receiving payments. Then we may try to include a combiner which picks and chooses the servers and pays the fastest servers. However, here we need to trust the combiner, and a malicious combiner can pick and choose servers of its own choice and pay them. Then we have another approach using atomic swaps. Here, the client interacts with each of the servers and obtains the value and pays them. However, in a Bitcoin system, in a UTXO model, the server may need to publish the transactions earlier, and any server may be able to withdraw more than one payment for a single computation. Avoiding and overcoming all this, we propose a protocol called VITARIT, which realizes any distributed verifiable threshold service. In this work, we realize it or instantiate it using a distributed VRF. And the VITARIT protocol is Bitcoin compatible, allows atomic payments. It uses adapter signature based swap between the client and the server. Since it allows atomic payments, we need to only pay threshold number of servers. VITARIT also improves the existing smart contract based approaches. Looking at the setup, first, we have the client, which makes a total deposit of T plus 1 into D, where it makes T plus 1 deposits, and D is the value of payment for each server. Each server locks a small auxiliary deposit. Then the client publishes multiple transactions such that any server can claim any of the T plus 1 deposits. When the server needs to be paid, the server payment transaction includes both the auxiliary deposit and the payment transaction. Thereby, we pay each server at most once and avoid the scenario where each server gets multiple payments. Now, let us quickly look at the atomic exchange between the client and server. Here, the client performs a signature to DVRF value exchange with each server. First, each server generates a public key private key pair. Here, it's the encryption key and decryption key, and then computes the partial evaluation VI, encrypts the partial evaluation, and forwards it to the client. Then the client sends a pre-signature of the payment transaction to the server. Here, the decryption key DK is a witness to the transaction. The server adapts the pre-signature to obtain the payment transaction and publishes the payment transaction on the blockchain. Then the client reads the blockchain, extracts the witness DK, and finally decrypts the initial value VI using the extracted key DK. Here, the question is, how do you secure the protocol against a malicious client while keeping the value or while keeping the evaluation verifiable? For that, we propose a new primitive in this work called verifiable non-committing encryption. The verifiable non-competing encryption or VNE ensures that ciphertext can be opened to any value by the prover, and the ciphertext is also verifiable. In VITARIT, we use VNE so that the malicious client does not gain any information and ensures the security analysis whereby the malicious party cannot distinguish real and ideal words. The protocol uses a public key encryption over several ciphertexts and involves a cut and choose technique for proof of correctness. Regarding performance, we implemented the protocol and realized a BLS-based DVRF for Bitcoin. We used Direct 25519 and other Rust crates. So the output, final signature output for the client is a 48-byte signature output. The protocol is fairly efficient, where each server takes roughly 204 milliseconds for the two-party computation between the server and the client. Each server outputs a ciphertext of roughly 57 KB. And finally, each client takes roughly 126 milliseconds in the two-party computation protocol. To show that the VITARIT actually improves even smart contract-based systems, we realized the same functionality with and without VITARIT on Ethereum. For a 5-server DVRF service, the gas cost saving is roughly 68%. So the gas cost with VITARIT is roughly 298K, ignoring the setup. And the improvement only increases with increasing servers because the computation and the verification is moved off-chain. We have a significant improvement with increasing number of servers. So for further details, please look at our paper and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.